Now, this video is going to be a quick one. However, what I wanted to talk about is how I leverage case studies to close more deals and book more calls. There's not going to be an intro, there's not going to be an outro, just pure value. Now, there's 9 different ways that I like to use case studies or just leverage case studies. The first way is in the initial outreach. So instead of reaching out to someone and saying, hey, we can help you generate an extra $50,000 in monthly recurring revenue within 6 months, are you interested? You want to add in between, are you interested, and the offer, you want to add in, just recently we helped someone do this that's based in Australia, just like you, and we helped them add 50K in monthly recurring revenue within 6 months. Because now you've added credibility to your offer. Instead of just saying you're going to help them do something, you actually have some credibility and evidence you've done it for someone that's similar to them. Now, what's also important to note is that when you're using the case studies, you want to make sure that you come across as legitimate as possible. What do I mean by that? People will leverage case studies and they won't name the company. So if you have permission to name the company, you want to make sure you use their first name, their last name, their company name, however, and talk about their website. You want to give them as much information because people are going to go ahead and search for these people afterwards just to see if they're legit. If you just say, hey, just recently we helped an agency do XYZ, they're going to be like, well, who's the agency? What type of agency is it? What was the result that you got for them? You want to be as specific as possible. I understand that depending on the types of companies you're working for, you might have a non-disclosure agreement where you can't talk about the specifics. So in those situations, I completely understand. But if you are working with a company and you have full permission to use their first name, their last name, and everything, you can go ahead and do that. Now, there's also a caveat within that. Maybe you're running a super specific method and you don't want everyone funnel hacking you. So maybe in that situation, you might not. But you want to get as specific as possible and you want to avoid being vague and broad with who you helped. Okay. Now, the second way is email signatures. And you don't want to use it in your email signature on the first initial cold outreach. Once someone positively responds, you want to go ahead and have an email signature for positive responses. And you want to have the case study in the email signature. Now, ideally, this is the ideal setup. You're already posting content on YouTube. And what you want to do is you want to have an unlisted video of a case study interview so that when they click on that unlisted video, they'll watch the case study or whatever it is. And then if you're posting content on YouTube, they'll go ahead and click on your profile and they'll check out some of your other videos. So then it's just like a funnel. It's a funnel into your content. And if you have good content, well, that's just a way to get them to consume more of your stuff before you actually hop on a call with them. The third way, not many of people that I know are actually doing this successfully, is just doing them in sales letters or using them in sales letters. Now, the whole idea behind a sales letter is to sort of indoctrinate them into the process or the steps that you took to get someone the result. So really, the case study pretty much underpins the entire sales letter. So you want to make sure you're using the sales letter. Use it in YouTube videos. So when you're trying to make a point, you don't just want to talk. You want to be like, hey, this is what I did for XYZ person. So you want to leverage the case studies in YouTube videos. Now, as I go through this process, I'm going through a lot of ways you can leverage them. You can probably come up with more on top of the ways that I'm already leveraging, but you want to put them anywhere and everywhere that you can, given you have the permission from the client, you don't have an NDA agreement with them. The fifth way is Calendly workflows. So I'm going to talk to you about how I leverage them in Calendly workflows. So the moment someone books a call, they get a text message sending them back to my YouTube channel. They get an email saying thank you. They get redirected to my thank you page, which has a video of me saying thank you for booking the call, walking them through the next steps, and it has a bunch of case studies on that as well. And then the fourth thing is that they get an email as well, just pretty much pushing them back to my YouTube channel. Now, if the call came from the YouTube channel, they're not, most of the time they would have already checked out most of my content. But also as well, because we're doing outbound, we want to make sure that people consume as much of our content as possible so that they can become familiar with what we've done. So we're not having to prove to them on the call that they can trust us. They already trust us because they've seen that we're competent from the content that we put out because we're providing value. Everything that we're trying to do is providing value first, then asking later. It's the Gary Vee approach of jab, jab, hook. But as Alex Hormozi says, you can just keep jab, 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 and just delay the ask and then get really, really good results that way. Number 6, I don't use this one specifically. I'm going to be honest with that, is pitch decks. I don't use pitch decks. I use a variation of a pitch deck. It's a lot more personalized, but you can use it in your pitch decks. Ideally, you want to have it You want to have the claim that you're going to help someone do. So we're going to help you generate an extra $100,000 in revenue. And then you want to have the case studies of the people that you've helped generate $100,000 in revenue for. Because when you make a claim, they're going to be like, oh, is this BS? And then once you show them the case studies, you're going to go, okay, this is legit. The next wave is social media posts, Facebook posts or Facebook statuses, LinkedIn posts, Twitter posts, Tumblr posts, Reddit posts. Anywhere you can post about it, you want to get it out into the ether. And the more places you can post it, the better. The next place is thank you pages. So I already spoke about thank you pages when I was talking about the email signature. So you want to have a thank you page with all your case studies on it. Because the idea is that even if they don't watch it on the thank you page, maybe they saw it in a Facebook post, maybe they saw it in the email signature, maybe they saw it in sales letter. So you just want to put it anywhere and everywhere because, like, again, what I was saying before, you're not having to prove on the call that they can trust you. They're coming to the call already trusting you because they've read your case studies. They know you've done it for someone similar to them that was in a similar position. And the last one is in About Us sections. So on LinkedIn, you have a quite long About Us section. I'm not sure about other profiles or other social media profiles that you can use this, but About Us sections, you're gonna pretty much talk about like what you do and then have like all your case studies backing up what you do as well. Now, hopefully you found this video valuable. There's no call to actions in this one, but I'll see you in the next one. See ya.